I'm a professor. Can you tell that I teach? I like to get up, I like to move around, I like to talk. So first, thank you. This is my second time in front of you. The last time was virtually during COVID. And I spent a lot of time thinking about how I was going to approach today. My family knows, even though I'm an educator, I'm a teacher, I don't like to talk. I like to listen more than I talk. And so my family said, talk, please, make your points, talk, don't listen. They're flying you there to talk. So I want to talk to you about a couple of things, and I want you to be calibrated so you understand the lens of the world that I see. It's very important that the words I say to you, you understand where they're coming from. In my journey, I've worked for 2 Fortune 50 corporations, billion-dollar corporations. So I have those books in my library of life. In my journey, I have started and sold 3 businesses. So I have those books in my library of life. I went to college. I have multiple degrees. I started in economics. My focus is international business and strategic management. I have those books in my library of life. So when I talk to you about what I see, it's very important you understand where I come from. So now I teach and I run the School of Business. Our university was voted one of the most diverse universities in the United States. Today, 70% of my student population is either brown or black. That's what we do exceptionally well. The theme today, the theme of your conference, disruption. Please be aware, you are at a major inflection point in the history of mankind. Let me say that one more time, because you are witnessing a major change in the world. AI, the ability to rationalize, the ability to process, to almost think. And it was just introduced last year. Your future, you're being trained today for a future that we have no idea what it looks like. The knowledge you have today may or may not be relevant in the future. It is critically important that you understand this disruption is going to change everything in the world. The way the world was yesterday, the businesses, the countries, the skill sets, the people that ran yesterday will not be the people that run tomorrow unless they educate, innovate, and adapt. Educate, innovate, and adapt. Educate, innovate, and adapt. We have a saying, adapt or die. Now that may be very alarming, but that is the future. You are either going to adapt to the new world or your business will die. You are either going to adapt your job to the new world or your job will be gone. So this topic is extremely important to you, to your family, to your town, to your government, to your nation, to everyone in the world. AI and this disruption is the inflection point. You must be aware. All right, so what can you do? Educate, innovate, adapt. Educate. Education is not just school. Quick show of hands, how many people read the news, listened to the news, watched the news this morning? Now, not your smartphone, not through your social media, because that news is an algorithm that is specifically tailored to give you what you like. Do not go get the news that you like. You should be reading about, like, I'll give you a couple of sources. Al Jazeera's News, one of the best news agencies in the world. Reuters you can select by country. You should be learning about your country, what's going on. You should be learning about China. You should be learning about the Middle East. You should be learning about the US, Brazil. You should be so hungry for knowledge that it should be your passion, because you need to educate in order to innovate, in order to adapt. Very first thing, every day, all day, I'm trying to absorb news. I want to know what's going on in the world. Why? So that I know how to adapt to what's coming at me. I beg of you, download a good news source for China on your app. Get the app. Download Al Jazeera's News. Download Reuters, right? Be thirsty. Be hungry. And get news into your day every single day. So when you're learning about a topic, you can understand how it impacts your reality. How am I doing on time?
Yeah.
Am I good? Okay. It normally takes me 8 minutes just to say good morning. So, there's the thing I like about being an older professor, and I tell my professors this, we've got these nuggets of knowledge we don't even know about, but we can hand them to you. If there's just 2 things I can leave with you. Number 1, the leaders of yesterday are not the leaders of tomorrow. The leaders of yesterday are not the leaders of tomorrow unless, and here's my second thing, you need to educate, innovate, and adapt. If you educate, innovate, and adapt, you will be positioned better than those people that have not. So what you need to do today, how can I start that? Download those apps. Start learning about the world. Start seeing what's going on. Start understanding every threat is an opportunity. And business people, we love threats because we figure out how to monetize and position our companies to make it an opportunity. You can only do that if you completely understand the threat. So I beg of you, I beg of you, I beg of you, educate yourself, be a consumer of news and information, not just college degrees. Thank you. So it's a great question. Quick show of hands. How many people know what's going to happen tomorrow? None. Absolutely no one in this room knows what's going to happen tomorrow. If you are running a business or if you are running a country, the question I pose is, how should you prepare for tomorrow? That's the critical question. So, what skills, what leadership skills, what leadership type, what leadership model should you try to incorporate to adapt and lead tomorrow? Tomorrow is going to be radically different than yesterday. Please put a bookmark in your mind and remember, what you saw yesterday is no longer going to be tomorrow. So with that being said, critical thinking, reflection. I've heard study the world, study people, be as knowledgeable as you can. Be creative, be flexible, be adaptive. When I ran my businesses, I knew that I was a terrible accountant, so I hired experts to give me advice. In my school of business, I do not teach data analytics. I hire the experts and I ask them to tell me how to position the curriculum. Know yourself. Know what your strengths are. Know what your abilities are, and hire people to fill your weaknesses. None of us know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I guarantee you, an educated leader who studies the world, who studies people, who knows how to serve a greater good, that is creative, adaptive, and flexible, will be able to survive and help navigate this disruption. AI is not a storm, it's not a monsoon, because monsoons leave, right? They come, they cycle, they leave. AI is changing everything in your life. Your medical, your education, your transportation, your financial. Every aspect of your life is going to be different. Is it an opportunity or is it a threat? How you as a leader respond will determine whether or not your organization takes it as an opportunity or your organization takes it as a threat and fails. So leadership is the key. Ego. Ego has ruined many an organization. Ego has ruined many a society. Know what you're good at and bring people in that you're not good at. And when you're wrong, say you're wrong, admit it, analyze it, focus on it, learn, and then move forward.